Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I would like to cover the facsimile edition of My Greatest Adventure, issue number 80, featuring the Doom Patrol, the first appearance of the Doom Patrol, originally published in 1963 by DC Comics, republished in this facsimile edition this year, 2024. I love the Doom Patrol. I actually also own this volume 2 of the Silver Age Doom Patrol. If you've never seen these, I'll probably do an episode on this one. DC does a really great job with their reprints. The paper quality is excellent. It's not that shiny paper. The reprint quality overall is really good with these older Silver Age editions. I need to get volume 1 of this, and I'm hoping that they publish volume 3 at some point, which I think would cap the series. So, again, this came out in 1963. Because I'm a nutter, I got both the shiny reflective cover, the hollow cover, metallic cover, if you will, and the regular cover. The interiors are the same. These reprints, facsimile editions by DC, are superior to Marvel's facsimile editions for one major reason. They use a newsprint-like paper that really allows you to, or allows them to recapture some of the original look of what this book would have looked like when it came out in 1963. So again, we have this incredible cover. I'll read this tagline or this dialogue from General Mortis, which is totally awesome. "You're too late, automaton. In another second, your ally Negative Man will be totally destroyed, unable to return to his human body. Reborn out of disaster, 4 survivors rise again to form a legion of the world's strangest heroes. A full-length comics thrill you'll never forget." So DC caught lightning in a bottle with this one. And this, My Greatest Adventure, which was more of a variety like science magazine, was taken over by the Doom Patrol because their popularity was so great. So we have a great splash page here. "You are about to experience one of the strangest meetings ever convened. A joining of the 4 most unusual people on Earth. Sit quietly in the shadows of this clandestine conference and observe it well, for from it shall soon be born the Doom Patrol in the substructure of a stately building in a bustling city. You 3 are the victims of a cruel and fantastic fate. I summoned you here to give you the opportunity to cheat fate by offering you the chance to experience adventures more incredible than any humans have ever known." So the odd thing about this is we don't have any credits here. There are credits later in the book in the letters page section, but Doom Patrol is written by Arnold Drake and drawn by the amazing Bruno Premiani, and it's just fantastic. And this came out, I think, around the same time as the X-Men. And so it kind of has that outsider hero vibe to it. And that's, I think, what DC channeled and went for with these characters. So it's great here. We have them initially in just in their silhouettes. And of course, we have the Chief, Niles Calder, confined to his wheelchair, but gifted with a brilliant mind. We go through each of their origins, starting with Rita Farr, Elastigirl. "Rita, this is the scene in which you are chased by a crocodile. Be careful. Don't worry, Mitch. I didn't win a swimming gold medal at the Olympics for doing the dog paddle." So she's already sort of a formidable athlete, a great actress, but she gets in some trouble here and ends up being pursued by a crocodile and swept over these falls and lands in a weird environment. "Your nimble body, plus your aquatic skill, enabled you to survive that incredible plunge. I'm alive. Gas vapors from these odd holes choking me. Must crawl away from here." So those weird vapors transform her and give her her form and instability that allows her to change size to a giant, super strong form, or shrink down to almost less than doll size. "I can't believe it. What can be the explanation for all this?" A native witch doctor supplied the answer. Those underground chemical vapors you breathed on the bank of the falls were the cause of your incredible expansion and reduction. It's all true. As you said, I couldn't control this terrible power. It happened anywhere, anytime. So you gave up your career, hid from the world out of shame and fear. But now, Rita, you have learned to control that strange power. Now you can end your self-exile. And next we have Larry Trainer, Negative Man. He was an ace pilot. You lost ground contact, blacked out. For hours, your jet skimmed through the still uncharted wave belts of inner space until it suddenly began to nosedive downward. You revived in time to crash land the K-2 on a dry lake bed as you climbed out, seemingly unharmed. It's a plane from the base to pick me up. Good grief. Only one wheel's down. The pilot doesn't know. He'll crack up. But as you watched helplessly, an extraordinary thing occurred. A strange duplicate emerging from my own body. So, Negative Man is born here from this accident. I can only speculate, Larry, that unknown wave belts bombarding your body, floating in space without adequate protection, are what created that bizarre being, the Negative Man. Perhaps, but what you don't realize is that while Negative Man functions, I'm barely conscious. And if he doesn't return within 60 seconds, I die. How'd you like to live with that? So that's his fatal flaw. Elastigirl can't control her powers. Negative Man, using his power, could actually kill him if he's gone for more than 60 seconds. Sort of a variation of what Thor had to go through for so many years by being separated from his hammer for more than 60 seconds, reverting to Don Blake. Now we have Cliff Steele, Robot Man. Good heavens, he's not a human, he's a robot. I was human once. You may remember Cliff Steele, a daredevil in search of excitement and danger. So he wrecks, and all that's left is his human brain, and it's transplanted by some mysterious individual into a new robotic body. Dimly, through a cloud of anesthesia, I remember a man, a very short man, operating on me. An eternity later, as I opened my eyes. So he is, in fact, now a living robot man, and he can no longer compete in the real world with human athletes because he's just won't be allowed. But you forget, in your self-pity, how unique you are. You're invulnerable to most dangers, unbelievably strong, and your living brain still thrills to your five senses. How do you know what it's like being trapped inside this metal body? How do you know anything at all about me? I know, Cliff, because I was that surgeon. So the chief reveals that he's the one who did the surgery to save Cliff Steele and consign him to this robot body. So the chief pitches to them that he wants them to be a team. They're not sure about it, but a news bulletin comes up about a bomb in this building. And so the group works together to bring the bomb back to Doom Patrol headquarters, or what will be their headquarters, and then defuse it. Rita shrinks down here in this awesome panel. Permiani's layouts are totally great. It's definitely an old school style, but it develops over time. His refinement of the characters develops over time, and it's just fantastic storytelling with Drake's scripts and Permiani's incredible artwork. Curiously, too, in this, since we get with the facsimile edition, they have the advertisements here basically on the same page as some comic panels, which is obviously not something you saw in the modern era. I love this really cool house ad featuring World's Finest, The Flash, Sugar and Spike, and Mystery in Space with what looks like Adam Strange. And the tagline is, "For the best in reading entertainment." So, and then we have, I thought this was some kind of ad initially when I was going through it, but it's actually just a comic. It's almost like a Sunday comic strip style. So that's neat. And the book is peppered with these. And then here we have the first in-story appearance of General Morris. We saw him on the cover, but here he is. And what just a fantastic character design with the epaulets and the shriveled appearance, and no one knows how old he is or how long he's been alive. Totally awesome. He's actually secretly monitoring the Doom Patrol in their headquarters, which is great. Then he learns about this alien spaceship that the chief has identified as a possible threat to the world that he wants the Doom Patrol to go deal with. So Immortus wants what's in that ship too. This is a great little panel here I'll read. This is General Morris at Supreme Headquarters calling my agents in Rome, Madrid, and Tokyo. I am ready to execute Plan B at once. Madrid speaking. Roger. Rome here. Okay. Tokyo. Message received. So you can see just from this panel that they build this idea around General Morris that he's got this worldwide network of operatives that'll work for him and do what he wants. The Doom Patrol arrive on scene, and of course the ship has its own defense mechanisms. It sends this tank robot out, and they have to overcome it using some teamwork here. Of course, and we have another ad here interrupting the story, and we have another page here with some comics, but these are educational, science shorts. I'll just read this one in the corner. It keeps the sun out, too. U.S. Army engineers are developing a foxhole umbrella to protect soldiers from falling debris and shrapnel. So they had these little factoids of news or news-like items. So they're rushing to help so the Negative Man can get back into his body within 60 seconds. And they're trying to take this robot tank out. I'll pause for a second here just to point out that in the Adventurers Club page, they actually talk about Bruno Permiani and Arnold Drake. So here's where they get credit for the story, which is cool. And back to our story, the conflict with the robot. The robot shoots an ice beam or a cryogenic beam. Another tank emerges and shoots this beam at the Doom Patrol, freezing them in place. But Robot Man, this is his moment to shine. He's able to overcome it and continue to stalk forward and cram his left arm into the barrel of this thing, thus causing pressure within it to build up and explode. All this action is at the direction of the chief, who's watching via a camera on Robot Man's chest. So that's kind of how they integrate him into the story and the action. It's through his brilliant direction that the Doom Patrol is able to succeed. So he is the fourth member of the team, sort of coming in remotely and assisting with his planning and tactical acumen. Attention, the explosion did not destroy our radio TV contact. I am more convinced than ever that General Morris is somewhere near you. You must get into that spaceship and complete the task at once. So they need to try to disable the spaceship so it doesn't get back to its alien owners and report what it's gathered. Whew, look at this place. Did you ever see so much electronic equipment? It is impressive, but remember, your immediate task, that device hanging from the ceiling, is the atomic converter. Cliff, tear it out. I've only got one good arm left, but I can concentrate all my power in it. So he frees it from its harness, and they're going to carry it out when, indeed, General Mortis shows up on scene with some goons here. Attention, you three inside the spaceship. This is General Mortis. I am offering you a choice, surrender or die. I know about the unique powers each of you possess, but I warn you, I have special weapons that can destroy you, and you have 1 minute to decide. So Robot Man comes out first, and he gets shut off by this beam that cancels all the electronics in his body. Now the chief can't see anything because he's chest down, but he can still hear what's going on and hopefully direct them. And here we have sort of a payoff from our cover image. You see, this device issues radio interference, static, which shatters the continuity of the energy that composes Negative Man. I shall keep him apart for 60 seconds. That means he can't return to your body and you will die. So General Mortis means business here. Meanwhile, in a clever ruse, Elasti-Woman is hiding inside Cliff's cranium and emerges in her shrunken form, shuts off the beam that is blocking Cliff's electronic mobility. And so even with one bum arm from that, when he destroyed that alien tank, he rushes forward and takes these two goons out in a cool action panel here. And this great panel here, 56 seconds, 57, wham! Good work, Cliff. But we've only 3 seconds to release Negative Man. And he crushes the controller so Negative Man can get back into his body. And this great panel, I love the little inset action panel here, and then showing the ghost of Negative Man returning to Larry's body. They get the atomic converter out. Meanwhile, General Mortis is trapped in the ship and it seemingly explodes. And at the end, our resolution is that our quartet has decided that they are a great team and they're going to continue to work together. How do you like us? Write Doom Patrol, National Comics, 575 Lexington Avenue, New York, New York, 22. So they want feedback, and fan feedback on the Doom Patrol was immense. It was a huge hit, and so they continued on in My Greatest Adventure until they basically became, My Greatest Adventure basically becomes the Doom Patrol. Here's another little science-y thing they put in next to this ad. In the two large circles, which center dot is larger? Answer, if you flip it around, you can see the answer. They're both the same size, but because of the disparate size of the dots around it, it makes it look smaller. Cool science-y stuff that they include in this. Here's another one here. Rays and beams. Just very neat. Oh, I love this ad for this missile attack toy. And then a great ad for some plastic knights. So very cool. This is an awesome facsimile edition. I think they might have sold out of this nationally. So if you see this in either the sexy foil form or the regular one, grab it up because it's a great piece of nostalgia and actually a really well done comic that hits a lot of the right beats for superhero adventure. This was a formative book for DC and for comics in general. And if you see these, they're also well worth picking up. I'm going to cover this one in a later episode in detail. I'll do a read through on it. But yeah, great stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, tell your friends. Please like and subscribe. And I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.